Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of the Nerdpocalypse podcast. I'm your host, Jay. I'm here with my co-host, Micah.
Hey.
All right, guys, we're back. So before we get started, I have a funny kid story to relay. No, my daughter is not calling anyone wrestling nicknames or anything, but which when I went upstairs and told my wife that story, she fucking lost it. She lost it. She's like, "That's the funniest shit I've ever heard." So my daughter has decided that like we're doing a new sleep routine with her, and you know, with any new routine, like the kid isn't happy about it at first, and so we're watching her on the camera. I posted this on my Instagram. My daughter has a Google Home in her room, which is how we play like lullaby music and shit like that to get her to go to sleep. And she knows how to activate it, right? Which is probably a mistake. So she's sitting there. We're watching her. She's sitting there, quiet as can be. She sits up, and we didn't have the volume up on the phone that high, so we didn't hear it at first. But she says, okay, very large search engine company, play this song Sugar Sugar by the Archies, right? Like everybody knows that song, Sugar Sugar, that song. She loves that song, right? And so we just see her sit up in the bed and she's talking to this thing, and then we just see her doing this. and it's like it's in black and white, so it looks fucking super weird. Like, what the fuck is she doing? And we turn the volume up, and that song is playing. This is like 10 o'clock at night. I'm like, my wife goes upstairs and is like, what are you doing? Like, go to bed. Turns it off. And luckily you can mute the mic so she can't do it. But yeah, so she decided she wasn't happy that we were leaving her up there, so she just decided to have her own dance party. Which is just fucking hilarious.
That's what kids do, man. They're like, no, I don't want to go to sleep. So I'm just gonna
hang out.
Listen to the Archies and bob my head.
I just thought that shit was so funny. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, it's a perfect ad for like Google, like to be like, and we have a mute button, like yes, and we turn it on for that very reason. But that shit was funny. I was like, all right, kid, you got it. You're way too fucking smart, like that you could figure that shit out. Like, is nuts. And it was like, oh yeah, this is what you asked for, no problem. Played it clear as day. Fuck.
Hey, at least yours is asking for a song. My son asks Alexa because he can't pronounce X's, which is not really a good thing since there's a big old X in his name. But he says, Alexa, tell me a joke, and then Alexa will tell one of these god awful jokes. And then he'll just keep going. And Alexa just has an unlimited supply of horrible, quote unquote, jokes.
Now, does he find them funny?
No, he doesn't. I don't know why he keeps asking.
I love that. Like, he's not even cracking up. He's like, no, he's waiting for a funny one. He's like, all right, come on. Come on.
He's happy. He's happy that he can tell somebody what to do and they do it.
Well, that's fair. That's fair. Autonomy is a big thing for kids. I just want to tell that robot to tell me a joke.
Jesus Christ.
That's funny. Alexa, call me Big Sexy. That shit is funny. That's still got to be one of the funniest fucking stories you've ever said. Hilarious. All right, checked out this week. So my wife and I watched And Just Like That. This is the Sex and the City new revival, I guess you could call it. I am a fan of the original series. I think it's really good. The original HBO series.
Hold on. It's called And Just Like That?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's not called like Sex in the City?
No, it's called And Just Like That, like a Sex in the City story or some shit like that.
All right.
So that's a turn of phrase Carrie uses a lot. And just like that, this happens, right?
All right.
I think she says it pretty much every episode, right? Like, cause she's in the original one, she's a writer. In this one, I think she still writes, but like she's like super rich, so like she didn't really have to. So I was a big fan of the original series. I think it's very good. I don't think you have to be a woman in your like 30s to get it. I think it's just good. It's just a well done show. But this new series it's fine, right? Like it's weird seeing them as old as they are, and like some of them like really not embracing being old. It's like, oh, you had a lot of facial surgery. You shouldn't have done that. Like that was a mistake. Like Charlotte, who was easily the best looking of the four, looks the worst now because she did not let herself age properly, which is sad. Mm-hmm. But anyway, the first episode maybe has some of the worst like old people trying to appeal to young people writing I've ever heard. And it also has very inhumane writing, which I cannot stand. What I mean by that is there's a whole like Carrie, who's the main character, like she's on a podcast, and so they're like, "Oh, I've got to do my podcast," and it's like they keep saying it like it's a new thing the kids are into, and I'm like, you know, like older people listen to podcasts all the time too, right? Like they listen to NPR and shit. Like this is not that crazy. So right. Stop saying it like it's like NFTs or something. Right. So that's a little weird. Like there's some dialogue like that that's very strange. And then there's like this inhumane or this very inhumane writing that I can't stand, which is I don't like when people like when characters are written like, okay, so there's a scenario where one of the characters, one of the original four characters, well, there's only 3 of the original 4 on this. She's a lawyer and she's decided to go back and be like an activist, right? Like she gets inspired by lawyers running down to JFK during Trump's when he did the Muslim ban, and there was just a bunch of lawyers just went there to try to help people. Like she did that, and so she got really inspired, and she wanted to be like this like legal activist now, right? Instead of being this corporate lawyer that she's been. And so she reads this black woman's book, and she's like, I guess this woman is teaching at like NYU or something. She's like, I'm gonna go take this woman's class. Like she's like super dope. And so she goes to this woman's class, and this black woman is one considerably younger than her. But her hair is different than it was on the cover of her book, right? And so when the white woman comes in and sits down, it's like a circle of chairs. She sits down in one of the chairs, and one of the other students says, "Hey, that's the professor's seat. Like that's where she sits." And she was like, "Oh, cool, thanks. You know, I didn't know that." And so she sits in another chair. The professor comes in, the black woman. Again, her hair is very different. Like she had short hair before. She has like down past her ass braids now. So she didn't recognize it was the same woman. Easy mistake to make. Like whatever. And that woman sits in the chair and she says to her, she's like, "Oh, that's the professor's chair." And she's like, "I am the professor." And it was like, "Oh, sorry, I didn't recognize you. You know, your hair is different." And she was like, "Oh, but I didn't mean about your hair." And then it devolves into like, "Why am I talking about your hair? I'm sorry. I'm an offensive white woman." Da 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 da. And it just starts spiraling into this weird thing. And the reason why I say that writing is inhumane is it's clear that she made a mistake, but you're letting her burn like that. It's so fucking uncomfortable to watch. And I'm like, normal people would just be like, "It's cool." Like you don't just let somebody suffer like that. It's very inhumane writing. I fucking hate writing like that. It's shitty, and people shouldn't act like that. I hate that.
I think that's the joke, though. You know what I mean? Like,
no, it's not. But it's not played as a joke. Like I understand. Like they're making it so that like this woman is like, I'm really fucking up on my first day.
Yeah, like, it feels awkward and
right. It feels so fucking uncomfortable. You're like, yo, can anybody just be like, relax? Like, it's not a big deal. But they're like, and yeah, you're wrong about that, and you're wrong about that. And I'm like, all right, yo, this writing feels fucking fucked up. Because then it makes the black woman seem like a bitch for no reason. Like,
all right, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, I just like, the writing, it was just like really inhumane all the way around. And that's just the first episode. And I was like, yeah, I'm not really feeling this show. And then the second episode, like, a Peloton kills a guy. Because of course it does. Yeah,
I'll tell you something after you finish.
Yeah, because your wife watched it. I'm actually interested to hear what she said. So then the second episode, like it turns because there's a very serious thing happens. Someone dies, pretty serious in the show, And it takes on the writing of the original series. It feels much more like that. And I was like, oh, there it is. Like, I don't know what the fuck that first episode was. It was fucking terrible. But the second one took on this serious but like witty tone that made way more sense. Like, but that first episode, like if you watch and you're like, I don't like this, give it at least to the second episode. I think maybe I personally found the second episode to be light years better.
So this has nothing to do with my wife. She had to explain it to me because I am just out of it because I'm an old man. And I remember seeing some headline about someone dying and Peloton being involved and every time like to the point where like Peloton like had to issue a statement and stuff like that. I'm like, what? Right?
Yeah, like
but
a
I
kid,
didn't care.
like a kid died or something, I thought.
But I didn't care enough about like Peloton to click on what they were talking about.
Right.
So I saw the headline and I saw a Peloton trainer as the picture that's under the headline. And I'm like, oh shit, a fucking Peloton trainer died? Like,
was it that black woman?
During
or like Latin
class? Woman? It was some white lady. And I was like, yo, what? And I told my wife, I said, hey, did you hear about that Peloton trainer dying? She was like, what are you talking about? I was like, I saw something where it was like a Peloton trainer died during the class. She was like, no, that's from Sex and the City, dummy.
Yeah.
And the trainer didn't die.
Yeah, the guy
This
died.
character pretend died, right? Like there's nobody died for real.
Yeah.
I was like, what? Are you sure?
Yeah,
so,
no,
yeah,
it's
I'm an old man.
No, it's Mr. Big. Mr. Big died.
Yeah, Mr. Big died.
Just fucked
Mr.
up.
Big.
Like the fucked up thing is that entire series, you're like, I don't like this guy. And then they got married and was like, I still don't like this guy. I'm not really sure about this guy, but I'm pretty sure I don't like him. And then this series starts over and it's like, oh, John's a completely reasonable, nice guy. That's cool. John dies. What the fuck? Like, you get one partial episode where he's a completely good dude. He's a completely good dude. And you're like, oh, he's not a dick. Yeah.
Well, hey, if you don't love me at my worst, you can't have me at my best, right?
Yeah.
Ain't that the bullshit that people say?
Yeah, well, he dead.
Like assholes.
He dead now. That was fucked up. I was like, damn, they killed Mr. Big? That's fucked up. Like, I was like, he's not gonna die. Like, he was like having a heart attack. I was like, oh, she'll make it home in time. And at the end of the episode, it was like, and just like that, John died. I was like, okay, wow, holy shit. But yeah, it was like, he has a moment in the first or in that episode that I thought was really dope. Like, there, you know how every like couple or family has like a pandemic thing that they did, right? Some people are like, I made sourdough bread or some shit like that. He had like this massive record collection that was in alphabetical order. So every night while they made dinner, they listened to a full record, which I thought was like, that's like a very cool fucking thing to do, right? So like going through all of his music. Yeah. And so like they talk about the pandemic a little bit, like, but they're like, you know, in the show it's over because, you know, they live in a universe where conservatives actually believe in vaccines, but yeah, not in reality. So yeah, the first episode not good. Second episode much better. So I'll keep watching it. I enjoy it. My wife is a huge Sex and the City fan, so I mean, she lived in New York when it was going on and everything, so she was all about it. Yeah. So yeah, but I dug it.
Okay.
But that first episode was fucking trash writing, dude. Holy shit. I'm going on my podcast. And then Bobby Lee was on that episode. I was like, nigga, get him off of the screen. I don't think that guy's funny at all. I don't. He's just gross. The guy's just gross. We did a recap of season 3 of Succession, HBO Succession. You should definitely watch that video. We did a cool comparison between some of the main characters and their MCU counterparts, which I think is important. But yeah, if you haven't been watching HBO Succession, I'm here to tell you, and I'm the only one here to tell you that it's a very, very good show, and you should be watching it.
People will actually watch it now. Now that you said it, people will watch it.
They're like, oh, this guy's, and then they'll credit me like,
this is amazing.
What a great recommendation, Jay. You're welcome.
Man, you are on it, Jay. Like,
if only someone else had told me about this 3 years ago. No, you were right, dude. It was super good. It's easily my favorite show. Like, I'm mad that it only had 9 episodes a season. I'm super mad.
I'm actually a little pissed at that. Like, I was really very much looking forward to at least one more episode.
But let's get real. If it was 10, I would have wanted 11. The writing is so good. It's so good.
Look, I just hope that we don't have to wait 2 years for the next one, right? Like, this was delayed by a year because of all the pandemic shit. So,
yeah. Get these people up onto some private helicopters and let's get this shit done. Next up, I'm not going to give my comments. I will write them on social media after 9:30 p.m. tonight on Thursday because the social media embargo is over. But my review for The Matrix Resurrection will go up on Tuesday, the 21st. So you can look for that on YouTube or in the Coming Distractions feed. But I did rewatch The Matrix Trilogy before going into The Matrix Resurrection.
I watched the first one today.
You watched the first movie today?
Yeah.
You have to watch all 3. You do.
I figured as much.
You do.
That's why I watched the first one so that I can kind of prepare myself for watching the other 2.
I feel like you'll enjoy 2 more than you remember. But I feel like you are not. You're not gonna like 3.
I don't hate 2. I don't. I do hate 3, but I don't hate 2. If 2 didn't end on such a bullshit cliffhanger, then I'd be perfectly fine watching those 2 movies. But because 2 ends on that fucking cliffhanger with Bane and Smith, I'm obligated to watch the third one.
Yeah, you kind of have to.
No matter what.
Yeah, you kind of have to. Like, it's weird because, like, I've been watching like a lot of like Matrix dissection, stuff on YouTube and things like that. Just because I'm like now back into that world, and boy, like, there's a lot of really smart commentary around it, right? Like a lot more than there used to be. But the original trilogy it's a super interesting experiment. Like, it really is. The first one's great. Like, it just is. It still holds up. Like, it's just fun. The second one, I don't know what happened where they were just like, hey, you know what CGI is? How about we pay half the price for it and get the shittiest CGI?
That's what I do remember. I do remember the second one, like, Neo was a rubber band man.
Yo, that fight with the like multiple Agent Smiths is one of the worst things I've ever seen.
Yeah, it didn't. I wondered what happened, man.
Yeah, like it was rushed. I mean, that's probably a big part of it. But yeah, it's the second one I think holds up better. Like, and I think a lot of it. There's a YouTube channel called Just Right. Like, he broke down the sequels really well, and he was like, the problem with the Matrix is they are made for like a 13-year-old boy with a master's degree in philosophy, like, which is the problem. Like, I like guns and ninja swords, but also I need to understand like existentialism and determinism and free will. That's a problem. But when you watch those movies with having the nostalgia of enjoying the action sequences as a like 19-year-old kid, and then coming back with the mindset of a person in their 40s, I think it makes it work a lot better. And the only thing I'll say about the new one is it fits very well into this trilogy, right? Like, it doesn't feel like wildly different, like outsized from it. So it does feel like it's a part of it, which is cool. Also, episode 5 of Hawkeye. More of a setup episode than anything else.
I mean, go just get it out of your system,
dude. I was mostly right. I'll say I was mostly right. Yes. Cam is technically right that the Kingpin showed up by being in a little picture. But look, it's cool that he's confirmed. Right? Like, yeah, that's dope, man. I like that Vincent D'Onofrio is in on the joke. he tweeted out. I sent it to you. He tweeted out the image for episode 6 with the quote, "When I was a boy." Like, he knows. Like, he's in the zeitgeist, which is awesome.
Yeah, of course.
What did you think of this episode?
The problem, and I blame myself for this. I was so amped to see Kingpin again, right? Everybody's dropping hints, and when he showed up, it felt like it didn't hit me like I wanted it to hit me.
Because you want to see him. You want to see him.
Because I knew it was coming, and then if I was totally oblivious, if I didn't know anything, right? Then seeing the Kingpin in that, screenshot of a screenshot, I'd have been hyped, right?
Right.
But in this age we live in, where all information is readily available and people cannot wait to tell you something is going to happen before it happens. And look, it's my fault, right? I should be off social media, but it didn't hit me the way I thought it would.
Right.
So I'm very much looking forward to the last episode, but I feel like the last episode is not going to be enough episode to deal with, to satisfy me, right? I feel like the episode is going to be fine. Like I'm going to enjoy it just like I've enjoyed the other ones, but you gotta technically Kingpin was introduced, right? But you gotta introduce Kingpin, right? You gotta rectify, you gotta set up Echo as a hero, right? Yeah. Which they're starting to do. You gotta pay off the swordman thing. You got to pay off the fact that Kate Bishop's mom is a villain.
Yep.
And have her deal with that. You have to pay off the confrontation between
Yelena.
Clint and Yelena and Clint and Echo, right? Because it feels like there's a lot that needs to be done in the next 45 minutes.
I'm hoping they push it to an hour, man. Like, I'm really hoping they do.
I'm even if they don't, like, I hope they just, I hope they wrap everything up and don't, I don't want it to be like, well, you got to save stuff season 2. Like, that's not how storytelling works, guys.
No, you got to you got to wrap 95% of this shit up. And, like, you can leave a little bit of, like, I'm okay because, comics are second act, right? I'm okay with a little bit of it being loose. But you can't just be like, hey, I'm Echo, and then she just leaves. Like, no, like, you're going to have to do something with that. You got to give us some reason to give a shit later if you're going to do that.
Yeah, man. I think they're working towards it, with the revelation that she had when she was talking to her number one, her right hand. He was, she was like, "Hey, weren't you weren't you in town when my dad died or whatever?" Right. And he was like, what? Huh?
No bueno. Sorry, like I don't know sign language. My bad.
So we'll see. I'm still looking forward to it. I hope that because Vincent D'Onofrio is going to be in this, that I hope he will transition to the big screen from time to time. Because look, man, people know the Kingpin as a Daredevil villain, but he is a Spider-Man villain first. And I would love for this next wave of Spider-Man movies to kind of address some street level stuff.
Yep.
Doesn't all have to be, you know what I mean? Like, because it's a movie, like, you're not going to have like a gritty, realistic Spider-Man. You know what I mean?
Right.
But the Kingpin should be a thorn, at least, in Spider-Man's side, right? The Kingpin can be the reason why you see other villains, even if they're minor villains. He could be the reason that you see other villains pop up in those movies to just kind of throw more obstacles at Spider-Man, right? Like that's where Spider-Man really works best because he's got that like guilt thing where he's like, I gotta fix everything. If you constantly throw adversity at Spider-Man, that's what he always perseveres. You want to see how he perseveres, and that's what makes that character, one of the reasons that makes that character great. So look, I'm very much looking forward to Hawkeye, the season finale. If you'd have told me that I would enjoy a Hawkeye television show, I'd have said, get that dirty bullshit out of my face.
That's fair.
But no, man, I really dig it because it's hitting me in my like MCU, like military bullshit that I like. You know what I mean?
It is, but I also think it does, not to bring up this person, but I think it also hits a thing that is fundamental to you as a child of the 80s. It hits that fucking Lethal Weapon button, dude. It does. Like, it's that old grizzled
it's
veteran.
It's a buddy cop thing, yo. Like, everybody loves buddy cops, yo. Like, that's the reason why they still exist, right?
Falcon and the Winter Soldier works for a reason.
Yeah,
for a reason.
It's a buddy cop film.
So it's like, and I honestly believe, like, the chemistry between Clint and Kate is just as good as Bucky and Sam. Like, it is just as good. Like, that scene, not in the 5th episode, but the 4th episode, where they're sitting around drinking and just talking and, like, shooting the shit, and he's, like, showing her the coin trick and everything. All of that, I was like, that's it. Like, that's hitting that fucking button. And it also is, like, is at Christmas time, so it feels like a Die Hard movie. Like, it's got, it hits all of those points, and you're just like, yep. It's like all these 80s action beats that it hits, and it's like, it's working. And then it's a buddy cop, so it's like, yeah, I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch it a lot. So
it's also really, really good to see Florence Pugh back as that character. She was great this week. She was great. I am reminded how much I loved that character. Like, that character stole the show in the movie. And every scene she's in, she just fucking steals it.
Her accent is getting a little ridiculous. Like, it wasn't near, like, it was nowhere near as thick as it was in the movie as it is in this episode. I was like, all right, it's getting a little thick. I was like, all right, relax. But she's great. Like, she's really good at it. Like, that whole macaroni and cheese scene was fucking wonderful. Which I think is a good setup for the banter that the two of them are going to have as Avengers, right? Like, if they're going to eventually be teammates, it's kind of dope, the idea of them getting to know each other in this moment without Clint being there, right? Like, they are going to have rapport of their own, and that's going to be important later on.
Yeah.
Right? So as that team gets assembled, it's like, oh, shit, I remember you. Hey, what's going on? You want some macaroni and cheese? Like, that's just going to work. So, yeah, also, I really look.
I don't give a damn what box you got it from. The fact that you got your macaroni and cheese out of a box means that shit is garbage.
I agree, though I don't hate boxed macaroni and cheese. I don't think it's nearly as good at all. But, like, as like a bullshit thing to eat, sure, why not?
No, hate it, can't stand it.
Really?
When I watched that black and white movie with John David Washington and Zendaya.
Oh, Malcolm and Marie.
Yeah, and she made that fucking mac and cheese, and I'm watching this nigga eat this mac and cheese. I was like, yo, this dude is really like into this role, because I can't imagine sitting there eating that shit through multiple takes.
Yes, method acting. He's a real actor, Mike.
Fucking noodles, water, and powdered cheese. Get out of here, man.
Yeah.
No.
And milk.
All right.
I didn't know that the first time I made it in college. A white person had to show me, because I never made it before because I'm black. Like, we never had boxed macaroni and cheese. Why? Why would we have that? That's ridiculous. In my house? For what reason? So yeah, I thought this episode was a fine filler episode setting up for the big show. But I agree, like, they've got a lot to do. They've got a ton to do. So, I mean, this has been the Marvel series' biggest issue, is that they leave too much to do by the finale. Right? Like, Falcon and the Winter Soldier wrapped it up pretty well I enjoyed the ending, but there was a lot. There was a lot to do.
It was rushed, man. Like I'm thinking back on it, and now that the high of seeing like this black man as Captain America, now that I've come down from that. Like that last episode is rough, man. Like they had too many things to do. And they have way too many things to do, and it's just like, oh, all of a sudden John Walker's cool now. Like, nah, yo, you ain't cool. You ain't cool, yo. Get out of here. Yeah. And then the very, very fucking ham-fisted, after school special. The ham-fisted black Twitter moment where it's like, well, no, you need to do this and you need to do this, and I don't know, figure it out. Like, what the fuck? Like,
no, I did not like. I know people like that speech. I did not like that speech at all. It did felt really weird.
Yeah, it wasn't like, and I get it's one thing to do that speech, it's another thing to do that speech in cosplay. You know what I mean? Like,
right. It seems silly, like with the helmet, the headpiece. I'm like,
you got the goggles and shit.
Yeah, I'm like, you gotta take that off, yo. I hear you, dog. Like, it's not a secret identity. Like, we know who Sam Wilson is. Like, Falcon. Right, like it's fine. Like, just take that fucking
Black Falcon.
See, now that part I love. Yo, that's Black Falcon, nigga. That's Captain America. I was like, yes, that's right. That's right. Oh, yeah. But that episode, even though it's rushed and it's got a lot of stuff, like it gave me the feels, right? So I was like,
it did, yeah, it did. Look, it worked on me. It worked on me. But if I have to take a critical eye to it, it's not. It didn't wrap up. Perfect.
But I would argue none of them have. Like, even WandaVision had a lot to do by the end. Like, it had a lot to do. Yeah. Like, you had
and it kind of just it kind of devolved into a superhero fight at the end, which is fine. But for a show that WandaVision, I'm speaking about, for a show that that was so unique throughout the entire run, the ending was just kind of cliche. Which I'm fine. Look. I'm fine with it. Everyone's going to be like, you hated it. Like, nah, yo, this is what you do when you critique things, man. This is what you do.
None of it's perfect. But everything up to that, every like 1 through 5 of WandaVision and 1 through 5 of Falcon and Winter Soldier and 1 through 5 of Hawkeye have been very good. It's just that they have too many threads that they leave open by the end of the 5th episode. And it makes for, like, if you said, all right, we're going to have 7 episodes, then it'd be fine, right? You could wrap it in 2. Wrapping it in 1 and keeping the same time frame of like 40 minutes is a lot. It's going to make it feel rushed. So if I had one overall criticism of the series, it would be that. Either make them like 8 episodes and take your time, or you need to have less threads that you're opening throughout the series.
Yeah, for Marvel, it always seems like it's the journey and not necessarily the destination. But we've kind of been expecting it to be both, because we've been kind of trained to think about the next movie. Right. You know what I mean? Or the next thing. And I don't know if that's necessarily a good thing, right?
I mean, it is if you were only making movies, right? Yeah. Like if you're only making, I guess that's the problem, is like, they were only making movies, so yeah, we do want you to only worry. Like, you enjoyed this movie, that's cool. Think about what's coming next, right? Well, yeah, okay, you're going to wrap this whole thing up in a movie, no big deal. But when you have a series and you're slow walking it week to week, like that makes for a different style of writing that you need to have. So, look, they've largely all been pretty good. So I'm sure with
they've all been good. Yeah, they've all been good. Don't get me wrong. Like I enjoyed all of them.
Right. Actually, the only one that didn't make that mistake is Loki. Loki wrapped with the ending with Kang, or the Kang variant, perfectly well. Like, all of the threads were lined up to get to that one point. That was the only thing that happened, and then they were done. That was the only one that's done it. And they made the smart choice of not giving you too many threads. Like, they dealt with, because most of the threads that were created were resolved in like 1 or 2 episodes, like either in that episode or the next episode, and then that was it.
Yeah.
So Loki is the only one that has, in my opinion, seemed to be able to like end in a way that wasn't like felt rushed, because that ending was not rushed at all. It felt like really, really robust, and it was actually the best part of the entire series.
It's probably what, it actually was handled pretty well. And I'm and they announced the season 2, and I'm satisfied with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know what season 2 looks like. Like what are they going to be doing? But at the same time, like, I enjoyed the first season, so it's not like I'm not going to watch it. Of course. I can't believe that Disney is ending this. Like, we're finishing up with Hawkeye next week, and then right after that, I think we have a week off? Or not even a week off.
The last week, I think the last week of December is Boba Fett.
The 29th.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we get just a couple of days off, and we're right into... So, next Wednesday, the 22nd, and then right after that, the very next week, the 29th, is Boba Fett, which I assume is...
It's good programming. I mean...
Dude, they're right on it. And they learned that lesson of not putting a Star Wars show and a Marvel show out at the same time. You don't need to.
No.
But they did that with the Bad Batch, I think, right? Like that was out at the same time as like Loki or something. It's like, why? Like, don't do that.
Yeah. No.
And they dropped Visions at the same time too. It was like,
you gotta make sure people, keep this thing. My free year through Verizon is up, and when I activated that, it paused my 3-year thing. So now my subscription doesn't end until 2024.
Good for you. Good for you. That's awesome. Not a bad deal if you can get it.
Yeah, man.
I mean, I guess I'm a year in, or a year and a half in, or whatever, on my 3 years. It's fine. What am I not going to sign up again? Like, come on.
Right.
Get the fuck out of here. Of course. Like, just tell me where to do my signature in my own blood. It's fine.
Yeah, just shut up and take my money, mouse.
Yeah, like, you're getting it. It's fine. I want to see those. Science and tech this week. You want to take this one? You put this up?
Elon Musk has said that Neuralink, his brain interface technology company, hopes to start implanting microchips in humans next year, as in 2022.
Yo, if you sign up for this, you're a moron.
He said that Neuralink is working well in monkeys, and we're actually just doing a lot of testing and just confirming that it's very safe and reliable, and that Neuralink devices can be removed safely. He added, we hope to have this in our first humans, which will be people that have suffered severe spinal cord injuries like tetraplegics and quadriplegics next year, pending FDA approval. He also says that the standards for implanting the device are substantially higher than what the FDA requires. So, look, the whole point of this, like he said, is to help people who have not necessarily neurological disorders, but people who have had like major injuries to their spine and things like that.
That's fair.
Kind of like Dr. Octopus in the Spider-Man 2 movie and in Spider-Man the game, right? In the movie, he has this he's working on like this fusion technology, right? That's all the rage. And then he uses his extra arms powered by a neural inhibitor chip, which, I guess is just like run of the mill, right? Like,
yeah, he's by one at Radio Shack.
Yeah, that seems like it should be the story to me, but okay, like that's just and it's attached directly to his spine, right? In Spider-Man the game, which has a much better implementation of a similar concept, that Doc Ock has something to the equivalent of multiple sclerosis. And that's why he got into this technology. He's trying to create prosthetics that can be linked to your brain so that you can move them. And one of the things he does is he creates the for arms because he's losing his, multiple sclerosis is a neurological, like, nerve disease that can paralyze you.
Right.
And one of the things he does is his body is starting to fail. So he uses the arms that's how he moves around.
Right.
And I think it's actually a really cool concept. It kind of hits me a little bit because my mom has MS,
right.
And it would be weird just to kind of see her walking around with like 4 extra arms and shit. But
I don't know, that feels like coming full circle for you. That'd be kind of dope.
Well, yeah, it's my favorite SpiderMan villain. So.
I mean, isn't Dr. Octopus in the Spider-Verse? It's a woman, right?
Into the Spider-Verse. Yeah, it's Liv. Yeah. Voiced by Katherine Hahn.
Yeah,
so
that's right.
Everything comes full circle. It's all incestuous, that Marvel.
Yeah.
What I glean from this story is that in 2022 we will have Dr. Octopus.
No, that's a fair point. Made by Dr. Doom, which is weird. Fucking infamous Iron Man over there. Yeah, look, I think this is reasonable if it's trying to help those people. The problem is the people who have working functional appendages and are totally healthy, who are Elon Musk sycophants, will sign up for this. And I think that is moronic. Those are the people who I mean are morons, not people who actually could use the help.
Yeah, that's it's going to go out for people who need the help, but this is going to be, maybe in our lifetime, commercially like accessible.
100%. 100%.
Like you're gonna have people putting this in their, implanting this chip, and it just, I don't know, man. And then to like pull up a heads up display, in your eye or some shit like that, right? But then it's like those same people are gonna be like, oh, I don't want the government tracking me though, bro.
Dude, look, the amount of people who I hear say the dumbest shit ever, like, oh, you have a Google Home? I can't believe it. That's spying on you. I can't believe you got to spend money to have something spy on you. Really? Are you tweeting that from your cell phone? You sure? Did you carry it around in your pocket next to your genitals and it listens to you all the time? How do they know which ads to serve me? I don't know. I can't imagine.
Oh, I was just thinking about that. Yeah, no shit. Because
I was sitting in my car alone and I said cat food and somehow on Google it knew. Gee, what could it be? Hey, shut up, dude. If you are tweeting or you're writing on Facebook that people who have those devices are crazy, you're a moron. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. Mine is just a speaker. I have a cell phone. Who cares? Like we're all being spied on. We're all being spied on. Do you use Chrome? Do you use Google Chrome? Guess what? What do you think that is? Why do you think it serves ads so well to you? Like, come on. Unless you got an old flip phone and use DuckDuckGo, I don't want to hear shit out of anybody. And we all know that's not true. So knock it off. I hate when people try to be morally superior. I don't use those things. I only use my iPhone 13 that has the most advanced technology of any phone ever. That's the only one I use. I don't use that other stuff. Like, all right, you got it. So yeah, look, if he wants to do this and it helps people, that's great. The question is, how long do you wait before you go Cyberpunk 2077? Cyberpunk, a game that really works. Let's say it works, like it was a game that was functioning.
Cyberpunk, the genre, not Cyberpunk.
Yeah, more the genre, not this. Like, how long do you wait before you get a Neuralink, not to get extra arms, but better vision, better hearing, that sort of thing? When it starts to fail?
I'm doing it. I'm doing this. And if I was, able-bodied and all that, not even like if I'm losing my vision and then I'll get it because I'm too vain and I don't want to wear glasses. No, I'm not that kind of vain. I'm like My vision is 30/20, right? Like it's not good, but it's not bad.
I want 15/15.
Right, exactly. Like I want to be able to zoom and enhance through my brain. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't want technology to give me the qualities of a human. I want super. Right. I want above that. Like
I want Matrix shit.
Yeah,
like,
I want super
this training program. Nah,
that's what I want. Exactly.
Combat training.
Right.
Bam.
Yeah.
I know Kung Fu.
Right. That's what I want. Where is that device? Look, if you can promise that instant knowledge, that would be amazing. I want super physiological abilities. That's what I want. Above human normal.
I want to be able to learn another language by just like selecting it and then just bam, and then I can travel and speak to anybody. You know what I mean? Like,
look, I got to tell you, when people, I saw a whole thing about that. Like when I was deep into all this Matrix shit, someone's like, well, that would be, that would really be an interesting thing. It would change this world instantly.
Yeah, dude.
Instantly, dude. If everyone could be as smart as possible, what the fuck? If you knew everything, like you just had access to anything, and someone's like, hey, how do you program this language? All right, this is how you do it. That's awesome.
I mean, essentially, we're doing it now. We just have to do it through this. But
that's still slow because you got to still use your dumb human brain. Like,
you still got to know what to do. Like, nah, I want to be hooked up, man.
Yeah, like, instant on.
Yeah, man. And then you'll have all these like back alley doctors and shit.
Oh yeah,
smuggling in all your cool loadouts and shit.
I mean,
give me that shit.
Wasn't there was a Jude Law movie? I think it was called Repo Men. It was a Jude Law movie about that, like
with Forrest Whitaker.
Maybe I don't remember, but I know he was in it, and it was basically like you could get organs and upgrades and all this other shit in the future, but if you didn't pay like the loan sharks or some shit, they'd come and they'd rip the parts out of you.
Yeah.
which was fucked up, and then like resell it to somebody else. And these guys were like repo men. Like that was the whole thing. Like, oh yeah, I drink too much. Like I need an artificial liver, but like I forgot to make my payments to the kingpin. So like he sends over Big Wheel and the question to rip it out of you. So.
And that movie took place in 2025.
See? That's only a few years after this, like when this gets going. So there you go. Like we're close. We're pretty close.
Close, man.
Not bad. All right. So my science and tech story is it's a bit weird. I wrote Facebook has some nerve. Facebook asked its members to send the social media service their nude photos. So if you're on Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg is asking you to send him pictures of your dick and or vagina or boobs. Apparently, their idea, they're launching a tool that asks users to submit the images to a central global website called StopNCII.org, which stands for Stop Non-Consensual Intimate Images. The service will collect these images, and then if somebody tries to post pictures of your wang as like revenge porn, it will get flagged and get taken down. Here's an idea. This is a crazy idea. Don't post nude pictures anywhere, ever.
Yeah, like ever. They
don't even take them. Don't even take them.
They're trying to create a dick database.
Yeah, dick database, a vagina vlog, if you will, or a. I was trying to think of something with a T. I'll think of it. A titty timeline.
Nah, just look. I know people want to be like sexy and all that.
Don't take pictures of yourself. It's a mistake.
Don't take pictures of yourself because
not on your phone. Not on your phone.
First of all this shit like uploads to various clouds automatically, and you don't You don't want that out there. You don't want that out there. If you got Amazon Photos, like it holds each and every photo you take. You don't want that.
I have Google Photos auto sync my images, right? Like I don't need a picture of my dick on Google Photos. Like I don't need that.
Nah, yeah.
I'm like trying to make a collage of my daughter. I don't need that out there. Like no, it don't deserve to be anywhere near that. Like get out of here. No, I think this is a terrible idea. And like you honestly should not take nude photos of yourself, especially on your phone. You really shouldn't, because of exactly what Micah said. That's how all those celebrity women got their photos dumped. Like they didn't send them out. No one hacked into their phone. They hacked into their iCloud accounts.
Right.
That's fucked up. They didn't do anything wrong. That was their privacy. And somebody was like, I want to see Olivia Munn naked or whatever. And then they just fucking stole that shit and put it out there. That's fucked up, man. That's super fucked up. So yeah, don't do that. Don't send your nudes to Facebook. That's insane.
Facebook. Jesus Christ.
Dude, like, you got to be a wild dude to do that.
It's to the point where like data collectors aren't even like, this is the point where data collectors aren't even asking you stupid questions like, hey, what's everybody's favorite pet's name or whatever, right? Like it now it's just like, give me your picture. Give me your dick.
Let me see that shit. Look, I'll be perfectly honest. I have taken a few photos back in the day that were requested. But I was smart. Never put your face in it. Never put your face in it.
Gross.
Deny. Is that you?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Is it going to be in a lineup? No, it's not. So like I'm good. But like people are just like, they got their whole face in it like, click. Like, nah, don't do that. That's a terrible idea. Don't do that. Like the amount of stories that they have of like young women taking like nude photos of themselves and then that shit getting stolen through iCloud or something like some one of those services and then it ending up on a porn site and they can never get it off because once it hits one, it's just all over the internet.
Yeah.
You ruin your life that way. I saw one story. It was like NPR had a story about that. Girl was like 19 and she had taken some some racy photos. I mean, they were nude photos and she put them on like, Photo Bucket or something like that to share with her boyfriend who was like out of town. And like this dude took the pictures and they broke up and dude posted them on like some social media or like porn site. And they've been working for years to get them pulled off and they can't. Because every time they get to one, another site has them.
Yeah, which John Oliver had a story like that once about how difficult it is for people to like stop revenge porn and shit like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
don't do that shit.
Don't. There are plenty of pictures of naked boobies on the internet.
Don't add yours.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't need to add yours.
Look, unless you're into that, right? Like if you want to do like pornography, that's fine. But if you're just like, I don't, and I just want to have some racy pictures, take that shit on a regular camera that has no access to Wi-Fi.
Take it on an old school 35 millimeter film camera.
Yeah, a Polaroid, like not even a digital Polaroid camera. You gotta like shake the shit and then like put it in a drawer and never look at it. AKA don't do it. It's a mistake.
I don't know if this is a mistake or not, but Wilder Valderrama is starring in Disney Plus's Zorro series as Zorro. Now, this is not to be confused with the Z0OORR0 series movie that is being talked about. No, this is a little more of a classic Zorro. In a statement given to Deadline, A.O. Davis, the president of Disney branded television, says,
who doesn't love that guy?
Says that the show is reimagining the classic 50s Disney TV show as a, quote, compelling period piece set in Pueblo de Los Angeles, but it told in a very modern telenovela style, with richly drawn contemporary characters and relationships set against action, drama, suspense, and the humor of the original iconic Zorro. Wilder Valderrama also gave a statement of his own, noting how excited he is to bring back the Latin hero to the small screen. Quote, growing up, Zorro was the character that made me, as a Latino, feel like I could be a hero. As an adult and storyteller, I have a responsibility for the stories that I help bring to life. To partner with all these people to bring Zorro back, like he's very honored and very privileged to be a Latino hero.
Look, that's fine. Look, I've only seen one telenovela. Okay, I feel like I need to watch more of them because they are, in a word, ridiculous. Have you ever watched any of them? Yo, they are outlandish television.
Not for like an extended period of time. I would watch it and be like, wow, these women are all gorgeous. And that's about it.
My wife, when she wants to watch something that is completely vapid, like if she's like working, but she just wants something in the background to kind of laugh at, she'll occasionally turn on Jane the Virgin. Have you ever seen that show? No. That show is fucking bonkers. It's a telenovela, right? It's a comedy of sorts, but it is like every episode feels like the storylines are so crazy. It's like, Jane the Virgin, she's got this kid and she's going off to college or whatever, and her ex-boyfriend meanwhile is in an affair with this woman who is like the international drug dealer for it's like a really fast-paced soap opera, but they're hilarious. I don't know how anyone takes them seriously, but I find them so bizarre. They are weirdly compelling television to watch, like because they're really fast paced, so you can just burn through episode after episode after episode, which is why like Spanish grandmas get into this shit. But I did Google popular telenovelas, and apparently there's one called El Dragon, which looks cool. It's a guy holding like a katana. Like I want to find out about that. Oh shit, it's got 2 seasons. It's on Netflix. I might have to watch that. El Dragon, Return of a Warrior. Yeah. So, I may watch that. Like they're really funny and they're silly. So
my wife was watching one called like the something about the Beauty and the Baker or the Baker and the Beast or something like that.
I don't know.
And she got into it. Oh snap! This dude is in a business suit holding a katana.
Yeah, dude. Like, yeah, I feel like. I feel like, and it's on Netflix, and it's 2 seasons. I feel like I might have to watch El Dragon: The Return of a Warrior. I might have to watch that. I'll let folks know after the break. It's got a 70% on IMDb. All right, I might have to watch it.
I don't trust IMDb, but
let's see what the people say. What my Spanish friends say. Leonardo, what's your grandma? Your grandma fuck with the show? Let me know. Yeah, so that's fine. Look, it's better than the Elite Speak fucking Zorro project that we talked about, so I am more than fine with this.
Yeah, more Latina heroes representation, all that good stuff. Speaking of which.
By the way, the image for El Dragon is 2 people seemingly having sex in the shower, so I'm going to add this to my list. I'll check it out.
All right. Warner Brothers and DC Films' Blue Beetle is moving from streaming to movie theaters.
Yep.
The superhero project was originally developed for Warner Media's HBO Max, but Warner Brothers announced that it will instead get a theatrical release August 18th, 2023. Blue Beetle is DC's first film to center on a Latino superhero and stars Cobra Kai's
Finish it.
And is from filmmaker Angel Manuel Soto.
Oh, really? You're gonna go after that one, but you're gonna skip the main?
I don't know how to pronounce. Much like my son, I don't know how to pronounce X's.
I think it's Zolo. I think it's Zolo. Let me see. Let me butcher this. Maraduerna. Maraduerna.
Look, all our Spanish-speaking listeners, I am sorry.
I deeply apologize.
I am the product of a Baltimore school education system.
Yeah, we didn't learn that Spanish words weren't just English words with the letter O at the end. Okay, that's
Spanish words that we learned were taco and I don't even think anything else. Burrito, right? If it ended in an O, that much like this person's name, then we learned it. But
otherwise,
yeah, I'm very sorry. We're stupid.
Yeah. By the way, fast forwarding a minute and 47 seconds into El Dragon, Return of a Warrior, there is a man helping a family into a car. He's holding a machine gun. He seems to be some sort of henchman. Yeah. Okay, I'm into it. Like they didn't really waste any time. Oh, there's a shootout within minute 3. Cool. All right, I'm gonna watch that one. I need a good bullshit to watch over the holiday season. Sounds good to me. All right. Yeah, look, that's fine. This kid's pretty good on Cobra Kai actually. He's the lead. He's the main dude. Yeah, he's the young kid. The young street rat.
All right. Well, he's playing Jaime Reyes, who gains superpowers when he encounters alien armor. So yeah, there you go.
I mean, look,
is the next couple of years going to be the year of the Latin superhero or heroine?
Why are you saying that? With him and who else?
Zorro, America Chavez. Who else is
Supergirl? Supergirl is Latin.
There you go.
Yeah, she showed up in Flash. So maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. Look, I like that. I like the idea of I feel like the last maybe year to 2 years has been big for East Asian folks.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not over it yet. Like I'm not cool with it being 2 years and now no, shut the fuck up. That's not that's not the move, right? But I feel like they had, Squid Game, Minari, Crazy Rich Asian, Shang-Chi, they had a bunch of big kind of breakthrough moments, which is really great. We'll talk about another movie in trailers this week that is very unique that I'm really surprised to see the actress who is playing the lead as the lead. So yeah, I think it's I think that's cool. And if next year is a big Latin year, that's dope, man. I 100% support it. I think it is long overdue. Long overdue.
Yeah. So yeah. HBO taps Big Short writer Charles Randolph for a COVID vaccine drama.
Yes. Give it to me.
The Oscar winner will return with Adam McKay for a limited series project.
Come on, dude. How excited are you for this? Come on, man.
I am, but I'm also I guess COVID is just going to be a thing now.
It has to be. Has to be. It's part of the zeitgeist.
Artists are going to mine for as much as they can. I like all the people involved. Mm-hmm. If it's got to be about COVID, then I guess it's got to be about COVID. But Randolph will write a limited series in development at HBO. That's why I'm excited for it. If it was on something else, if it was Showtime or whatever, I wouldn't be as excited for it. No. But HBO has a certain pedigree. That's why their slogan is, or I don't know if it is now, but it used to be, it's not TV, it's HBO, right. Because they don't consider themselves just regular old television. It's going to be about the race to develop a vaccine for COVID-19.
I hope it has the same seriousness and charm that that The Big Short had. Right? The Big Short was incredibly serious, but it also just had a level of charm and style to it that while I loved and I thought Adam McKay did a really good job directing it, I don't think, and I don't know, but my guess is this guy was not involved in that Dick Cheney movie because that lacked all style to me. And
who the writer?
Yeah, the writer, Charles Randolph.
Okay.
But I look, I could be wrong, but like the style was so lacking in that Chaney movie. I'd be shocked if he was working on that he did work on that. So
no, he didn't.
There you go. And look, McKay, I think, is a very good director and does really good work. But sometimes directors are only as good as the writing. Actually, I would argue most times they are only as good as the writing. So it's cool for them to reteam because I thought The Big Short was phenomenal. And
this guy, Charles Randolph, also wrote Bombshell. You ever see that movie?
No, I haven't. I heard it was very good, though.
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it very much. I can't remember if Charlize Theron won any awards. I think she was nominated for her portrayal as Megyn Kelly. Mm-hmm. But I enjoyed that movie. Yeah, I like these. I like these types of movies. And The Big Short. I am so surprised how much I enjoyed that movie.
It's about the financial collapse, and it's
about something so
fascinating,
fucking boring.
Yeah,
but it's really it's not necessarily boring. It's hard to explain and make it entertaining.
Yes,
it's not boring. It's just not entertaining. The whole concept of it. But this movie was very entertaining.
But they made it entertaining. Yeah.
So, that's right. Don't Look Up comes out soon.
Is that Adam McKay as well?
Watch that? Yeah, he directed, wrote, producer.
Oh, I'm 100%.
I haven't read any reviews yet, but it comes out on Netflix like Christmas or something like that.
Yeah. Oh no, I'm gonna watch it. No doubt about that.
So, all right, that's it for me.
All right. All right. Next up, Spike Lee teams with Netflix for multi-year creative partnership. So Spike, obviously teamed up with Netflix for The Five Bloods and the She's Gotta Have It series. And then he is apparently he's directing Rodney King and producing something called See You Yesterday. So he says, look, no better way to start out the year than to reteam with the brave folks at Netflix. That's cool. Look, I think his work at Netflix has been really good. I think it's been some of his best work in years, to be honest. Like he feels like he feels like rejuvenated, which I think is really dope. Because I thought The Five Bloods was fucking phenomenal. Like I really thought it was good. And had COVID not happened, I think we would have been talking about some Oscars out of that film.
I mean, we really should have. Delroy Lindo should have been at least nominated. I will. Normally, I don't get like mad or whatever about like nominations and awards and stuff like that because like it don't affect me any. But like when I see a performance from somebody like that, like it should be recognized, and like, I know it doesn't because one, it's Spike Lee, and two, it's a movie about black people, like, and people don't, unless it's about black people fucking suffering,
right,
or shit like that. Like white people don't want to pay it any mind when it comes to like award season,
right?
So.
And it was a shame because that movie, the movie was good in and of itself, but his performance was outstanding. Like it was outstanding.
Yeah, man.
And not just like, I really like Delroy Lindo. I mean, I do, but it was an outstanding performance. Like that, like when we reviewed that on Black and Black Cinema, we all were like, okay, so this is definitely getting nominated for an Oscar. Like he 100% needs to be in the running. I don't know if he'll win, but he should absolutely be in the running. And he was just completely snubbed. Now, part of that's probably because it's Netflix. Part of it is exactly what you said, is because it's about black folks and it's not about us suffering, which for some reason will not make it on the radars of white people.
Right. Like, yeah, it was Netflix, but like Netflix does a, they make sure that they are eligible for stuff like that.
Absolutely.
And, it didn't stop Roma from winning any awards. You know what I mean? So
it did not.
I refuse to believe that is an issue, but I guess it is what it is, I guess.
Yeah, but that was a bummer. But look, he's doubling down and doing more work with Netflix. Sounds great. Again, I think some of his best work in the last few years has been with them. So I love She's Gotta Have It. I thought that was a great series. So yeah. And look, he broke a star in that, right? DeWanda Wise, he broke a star in that, which is kind of amazing, right? So she is now fully in the MCU too. So so there you go. Next up, as I wrote, Chuck Todd does what he does best. So Chuck Todd from MSNBC.
Not press people on the issues?
No, Chuck Todd is producing a presidential assassins anthology for Peacock. Well, my point was that Chuck Todd is going to murder people, just like he murders the news every week because he fucking sucks. Fuck Chuck Todd. He is awful. He runs Meet the Press. Fuck off. What an insult to Meet the Press. That guy stinks. He just fucking stinks. But it is kind of interesting. Adam Perlman will write the drama, which will delve into the minds of several presidents and the people who try to kill them, and sometimes succeed. The Meet the Press host and NBC news political director will executive produce American Assassins, the anthology series. And yeah, the guy, Adam Perlman, who writes Billions and The Good Wife, that's pretty good behind things to be associated with, will write and executive produce as well. So, all right. American Assassin is described as a two-hander true crime anthology that dives into the singular minds of American presidents and the people who tried to knock them off from their perch. The first season will tackle the lesser-known killings, that of James Garfield, the 20th president of the United States, by Charles Gattu in 1881. Subsequent seasons would track different assassinations or attempts, including those of President Lincoln, McKinley, and Kennedy. Cool.
Is it wrong of me that I only really care about the modern ones?
No, I don't think so.
I don't really give a shit about James Garfield.
No, I feel like nobody cares about James Garfield. But of this list of people, obviously Kennedy and Lincoln would be the big ones. But I feel like some of the attempted assassinations are cooler.
And the attempts are going to be like super interesting.
Like the Reagan attempted assassination is pretty fucking interesting. The best attempted assassination is of Teddy Roosevelt. A guy shot him at almost point blank range during a speech. And he just took that shit and kept giving the speech because Teddy Roosevelt was an ornery son of a bitch. Like, he shot me. Fuck that guy. Anyway, back to what I was talking about. Like, he just finished the speech. He's a badass.
Anyway, let's lock these Japs up. Wait, what?
No, that's his cousin later on. That's FDR.
Oh, yes, that's right. My apologies.
Different white man.
I don't want to sully the good name of Roosevelt.
Yeah, just watch yourself. I mean, I love FDR, but can't defend that one.
Which one is your favorite?
FDR is my favorite president.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
No, I have a deep hatred for Japanese people. I'm kidding. Relax. I'm kidding. No, he's arguably our best president because he saved the country from the Great Depression, amongst many other things. But at the same time, Teddy Roosevelt was a badass son of a bitch, man. Like he was. Like he legitimately was. Someone once wrote a letter to Teddy Roosevelt while he was president. It was like, I'm in the military and it's really hard, like things are really tough. And he was like, all right, that's cool. He like left the White House, got on his horse, because he used to be, Teddy Roosevelt used to be a Rough Rider, right? Like these like fucking military guys, but they were like outdoorsman type of soldiers. He got on his horse and rode from the White House or wherever, from the Capitol, like day and night by himself for like 2 days to get to where this guy was, and was like, it's not that hard. Shut the fuck up. And then went back. Like, that's the type of guy he was, Like he was a son of a bitch. Like he just was. But he was tough.
Now you got people who are presidents that can't walk down an incline.
Right. He's tough. Let's Photoshop his head on Rambo. Nah, Teddy Roosevelt's ghost would beat the brakes off of Donald Trump, He was just a tough dude, man. Like he just was. Like there's a picture. There's an old picture of Teddy Roosevelt as a kid. He looked tough then. He was like 15. It was just like he's just like sitting there in a chair with no shirt on, holding an axe. I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, I'm gonna be president one day. It's like, probably. So yeah, I'd like to see that story. I'd like to see that Teddy Roosevelt got shot and kept giving a speech story. Or that one president who died from eating a cherry. That's a pretty funny one too. Yeah, we had a lot of punk ass presidents, guys. A lot of people don't know that. Next up, Ben Affleck says he's done with IP movies, aka intellectual property films. So, anything based on something already. He was asked his thoughts about The Last Duel and how it did. It did not do well. I think most of that is because it's a fucking pandemic, and I don't know why we keep asking the same questions every fucking time. People aren't going to the theaters.
I really wanted to see this movie too. I just never got around to,
Yeah. I think it's around.
It is. It is.
So yeah, like they were asking him like his thoughts on like Ridley Scott going off on that whole thing about like how blaming millennials for not seeing his movie because audience keep bringing their fucking cell phones and they don't pay attention. And then he told a journalist to go fuck himself at one point. And Affleck is like, who hasn't wanted to say that during a press junket? Like it's just like, whatever, man. Like I get it. He's like, look, he's gotten to the. He says really is at the stage in his career where obviously he's completely unencumbered by concerns about what people think. No shit.
The dude's like 85 years old. Like,
he don't have to play. He don't have to play to the crowd, man. Like he just does. He also added one of the fundamental ways it's changing, talking about the movie business, is that people who want to see complicated adult non-IP dramas are the same people who are saying to themselves, you know what? I don't need to go out to the movie theater because I'd like to pause it, go to the bathroom, finish it tomorrow. It's that along with the fact that you can watch with good quality at home. Affleck's theory is a theatrical experience will soon become so rarefied that, as he told the playlist, there'll be 3 directors, maybe Quentin, Paul Thomas Anderson, Christopher Nolan, Catherine Bigelow, I don't know who, that'll be the 3 movies a year that you'll go out and see because they're in the theater. It's like Succession. It's just too good. Shout out to Succession. Look, even Ben Affleck watches it. Look, he's not wrong. It's already happening. And that's not the fault of, it doesn't mean your movies are bad. It's that people don't want to pay to see a drama with these exorbitant prices. They want spectacle, dude. They want big, huge spectacle when they see these massive screens with these great sound systems. Look, I saw The Matrix 4 the other night. I was one of 2 people. It was a press screening, like press only screening. I was one of like 2 or 3 people in the theater. I think it was one of 2. It was in a massive fucking theater with this big booming sound. Yeah, that's how people want to see movies. I don't want to see The Last Duel like that. I want to watch that at home. I don't need to see it in theaters.
There are a lot of reasons why that movie bombed. One,
fucking millennials,
right? It's a pandemic. 2, fucking millennials, right? Like you know what millennials don't want to see? Fucking rape drama. They don't, yo.
Yeah, not really.
They don't. No. 3, I think it's always been like this, right? Like going out to the movies is an event. It's like it's a date. You know what I mean? Like, and very few people, older people, the people who spend their money on stuff like this don't want to necessarily see, melancholy dramas. No. 4, he mentioned it. Television is in its golden age right now.
Yeah.
Television is telling stories that are better written, paced better, acted better, made for cheaper, and
some
of them, and are award winning. Television, and you can tell long form stories. You can tell more complex stories through television.
Yep.
And you just can't with movies. So, look, I don't think the movie going experience is dead. I really don't. Like, get out of here.
It's gonna change.
Like you said, as long as spectacle is a thing, then yeah, they're going to come out. Also, when did this movie come out? When did The Last Duel come out? Like, I think society has been trained to know that, like, movies like that should probably come out in the winter months.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, The Last Duel was, which, again, is a movie I want to see.
It's like a month ago.
It had to be no more than 3 months ago, right? The Last Duel came out...
month or two ago.
The Last Duel came out October 5th. No, September 10th in Venice and October 15th in the United States. That's a weird time for that movie to come out. That movie should probably have come out. Well, Spider-Man is here. But that movie normally, if Spider-Man wasn't around, that movie normally would have come out around this time.
Right.
Late November, December. And you wouldn't expect it to be, and it wouldn't be like $100 million either, yo. Like, that movie was $100 million? Jesus Christ. but look, I heard this movie is phenomenal.
I've heard good things.
And I want to see it.
No, you can rent it now.
You can buy it if you're so inclined.
You can buy it. I don't buy movies anymore.
I buy certain movies, yes.
No.
I still buy certain movies.
No.
Movies that I want to, like, keep in a collection.
Yeah, I'm like quite literally not buying it. Like, quite literally, no, I don't think so. Look, and I hear you. Like, yeah, no, as I'm looking now, no, I'm not going to buy The Last Duel. I'm not going to buy it. I feel compelled to not buy it. I really do. Like,
well,
5 minutes from now, I'm going to feel extremely not compelled to buy it. Like,
I feel compelled,
about 5 minutes.
I feel compelled to remind you that friends share things when they come into good fortune.
Well, so. You know, like I also feel compelled to not abide by certain rules of society.
Yeah, we see that. We see that right now in about 5 minutes.
Look, I'm not a person. I'm not a person above reproach. 2 hours, maybe 13 minutes. Whatever. No, but in all seriousness, 3 minutes. Anyway, yeah. Look, I do want to see this. I think it looks super interesting. But look, he's not wrong about the movie industry changing. And I think it'll change. Like, these arguments will change significantly over time when you see, like, when these old school directors die off. And not that I'm wishing Ridley Scott to die or anything like that, but I'm just saying, like, when these guys are not making movies anymore, right? Because they came up in a time where the biggest goal was to get your movie on the silver screen, right? Like, you got to get it on the big screen. You got to get it on the big screen. That's the only way people are going to see it. That's not the case anymore. Like, yeah, your movie might make it to the big screen. Maybe people will see it. Your movie making it to Netflix, a lot more people are going to see it. Like, just the nature of algorithms, a lot more people are going to have a chance to just hit play and say, oh, this looks interesting. If The Last Duel premiered on Netflix, it would have been 10 times more popular. It would have been.
Sure.
Because people are just like, oh,
but I understand that, like, that mentality, right?
Yeah, like, I'm not mad at it. I'm just saying it's reality.
You grow up watching movies. Like, your dream is to make a movie and you want to see it on the big screen. That's why when people are like like coming at like Denis Villeneuve and Christopher Nolan for like poo-pooing streaming and shit like that. Like, I mean, I get it, but at the same time, right? Like technology is changing, man. And if that movie had a theatrical release anyway, like 3 months from now, it will be available for, consumption at home.
Right.
Anyway. So let's just cut the 3 months. I don't know.
Yeah. But I'm not mad at Affleck on that. I think he's largely correct. So, and look, he wants to be done with IP movies. I get it. He says because I don't want to do IP movies where you have to have this sort of built-in audience. That's something I was interested in and I liked, and I just don't like it anymore. I liked other people who do it, and if you're going to do it, you should love it, and I love something different, so I want to do that. Look, he's been around long enough, and he's had some really bad luck with big IP movies. He really has. Daredevil, fucking Batman, like he's had a really hard time. So, look, I get it, and it's not always his fault. Daredevil wasn't his fault. This is a bad movie. Like, it just was. The Batman shit wasn't his fault either. He was a pretty good Batman. He was just in a shitty movie. Like, and he got burned for that. And that's not his fault. So, I get it. I get why he doesn't want to do it. I get why he wants to kind of go out on his own and do his own thing. I'm not mad at him about that at all. So, works for me. Next up, where is the docket? Just quickly, Harvey Weinstein going to jail might not be a sure thing. That's unfortunate. That piece of shit is hopefully going to serve a 23-year sentence on rape and sexual assault charges. But he's also facing additional charges in Los Angeles that carry a maximum sentence of 140 years. But 5 justices heard arguments on Wednesday, and 3 of them expressed serious concern about the testimony admitted at trial. One justice, Sally Manzette Daniels, referred to the use of uncharged allegations as overkill and piling on. So they could reverse this, which is a little fucking terrifying. That guy should die in a hole. So I don't know.
And piling on. I mean, but if it's true,
yeah. But but the problem, I can understand that reaction. The problem is, to his defense, to Harvey Weinstein's defense, he is very rich and very white. So we should probably consider maybe he's innocent. Is basically it. Like, he got a lot of money though. So how bad can he be?
Jesus.
Question mark? Yo, if they let Harvey Weinstein out, that's a problem, yo. Like, that's a real fuck you to women dealing with shit in this industry. Because, like, letting him out, what does that do? He can't go back to his company. Right? Like, he's just going to be a fat piece of shit sitting at home, like, just being a miserable asshole. Sit in a jail cell. Fuck you.
I mean, he can try, though, right? Like, he can try. Like, I
feel like they cut his company up. It's gone. Fucking, ain't no.
No, but I'm saying, I'm not saying he will be returned as, head of the Weinstein company, but like, slippery people like that have a tendency to, if they want to get into something, they can get into it. They just don't have to have their name on it.
Do you think? Do you think he could come back as a producer under his name, and you think people would get behind him?
No, not under his name. No, but if he's like some sort of silent backer, and like I don't know. Look, this is the conspiracy theorist in me. Because I don't trust old rich people. Especially if they look like this, right?
I get it.
So
look, I mean, I had like a moment last week. I went on like a Google search thing. Do you remember Devin Faraci, film critic? Remember he got in trouble for like sexually harassing a woman, back in the day, and then he had like some bullshit ass like reason behind it or something. It was like, I was drunk, sorry. And then a bunch of women were like, you're kind of a piece of shit anyway. And they got him the fuck out of here. He was like one of the original people to get canceled, and like he wasn't rich and powerful enough. Like he actually got canceled. Like they just destroyed his career, which is fine. Who gives a fuck? But like I was like, what happened to that guy? Like I remember a couple of years ago, he was secretly writing writing and doing like some back end like producing type of shit for some company, but they didn't put his name on it, but he was, and like still getting paid.
Right.
And then like people found out and they were like, no. And they were like, all right, we'll get rid of him. But like that dude's got like a Patreon, and he's got people paying to hear his opinions on stuff, but like he is like nowhere to be found like on social media. Not really. Like I think I saw him, like he's got like an Instagram or something, but like considering where he was, it's like, oh, he got 6 likes on this comment about a movie. Like people just don't fuck with that guy. Like that guy is a perfect example of like what quote unquote cancel culture can do, but it's only because he's not that powerful. He was just like, he's like us.
All these celebrities crying about cancel culture. Like, shut up, yo. Shut up.
You guys are way too big for it to affect you.
No one's canceling you. Like, even if you are the low end of an A-list celebrity, you are, or the high end of a B-list celebrity, you're not getting canceled, yo. You're not. Get out of here. No. You don't even know what the fuck. Stop using buzzwords.
Right. Synergy. It just doesn't mean anything. Yeah, like you're not getting canceled. Now, if Harvey Weinstein gets hit with 140 years, that's getting canceled. Like you are canceled for life.
Right.
Get the fuck out of here.
It's not even getting canceled. Like,
you got
accountability.
Yeah, it is accountability.
Right. It's accountability. Like, stop all that shit.
Yeah, it's silly.
Get on my nerves with that shit.
Oh, cancel culture is ruining America. No, it's not. You mean holding rapists accountable for their behavior?
You know what? Yeah, right. Exactly. Right. Like I hate the term cancel culture because it's a buzzword that people who don't want to take responsibility for their own actions can use, and they can just deflect. Right. It's the same thing with the word woke. Right. Like you know who Aaron Rodgers is, right? Aaron Rodgers, he's a quarterback for the Packers, right? He went. Oh yeah,
the white dude who was like, I'm immunized.
I'm immunized, right? And then he was like, well, you know, it's this woke cancel culture, man. No, bitch.
Yeah, it has nothing to do with it.
That has nothing to do with it.
You lied.
You said you got something and you didn't. Well, I've been immunized. No, you haven't, yo.
What does that word mean? Like, what does that mean?
That's why he used it. That's why he didn't say I got vaccinated. I got immunized. Like, well, I didn't say I got vaccinated. I said I was immunized. Yo, fuck off, yo. You were duplicitous. Yeah. It's not the fucking woke.
You don't know what that word means either.
Right.
Do what?
Fuck.
I ain't do nothing. I don't know anybody named Plicitous. I don't know them. Yeah, Aaron Rodgers is, and again, he was treated as well as he was, even though people went after him. He was treated as well as he was because he's white.
Right.
If a black quarterback had said that bullshit, they'd have lit his ass up.
Jesus Christ, yo!
You wouldn't have come back.
Like they get on Kyrie Irving for his stupid ass opinion, but like at least he's standing in his truth. I guess
that dude is dumb. Doesn't he believe the Earth is flat? Or like there's no moon or some shit like that. So
I think he's a flat earther also, man. Like, all right, bro. All right.
Does he also think does he also think the movie Moonfall is a documentary? like what is that guy's problem? Holy shit.
What the fuck is this big old piece of cheese flying at us? No, the moon's not made of cheese either, dude. Like, come on, man.
He's like, you ain't never been there, you don't know. Like,
right.
You know what? You got it. You got it, Kyrie. You fucking idiot. Yeah, don't meet your heroes. All right. What the fuck brought to you by JTD?
It'd be your own people, Jay. And by that, I mean your own people.
No.
A doctor eats cow dung and claims that it cleanses the body, mind, and soul.
That's my wife's people. Don't do that.
Don't do that. Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
it's India. Of course it is. God damn
it. Dr. Manoj Mittal, a child specialist from India, sparked controversy online after appearing on camera to praise the benefits of eating cow dung while feasting on it himself. Traditional Indian medicine has long been promoting cow dung as a cure-all that can stave off conditions like cancer and COVID. But this didn't include trained doctors who generally believe things like science and clinical trials. Well,
they don't believe in science or clinical trials?
No. This did not include these like, eating cow shit can cure cancer. No, the doctors who actually believe in clinical trials and science, they're like, no.
Of course not. Yeah, because their brains work.
Right.
Don't eat cow shit. What's wrong with you?
Well, virtually as in any field, there are exceptions. Dr. Mittal, an MD from someplace over there, definitely one such exception. He recently posted a video that has since gone viral. The doctor can be seen taking bites from a piece of cow dung, praising its benefits on the human body, mind, and soul. Quote, every part of whatever this word is obtained from the cow. Okay, I guess that's Indian for feces. Every part of this shit obtained from the cow is very valuable for mankind. See, if we eat cow dung, then our bodies and minds become pure. Our soul becomes pure. Once it enters our body, it purifies the body. The thing that a cow's body is rejecting can cleanse the human body, is what this man just said. Also, he's a pediatrician.
No. This dude's wild. No.
Can't do it, yo. Can't do it.
Not buying it. No, I don't approve of this. I think that's gross. I think if you're eating cow dung, I think there's something wrong with you. I do.
I don't even know what to say, man. I get this dirty cow shit out of my face.
I mean, like, what else is there to say?
This is the Dr. Oz of India, yo.
The doctor. Is he running for the Senate? I hope so. Because that guy is fucking crazy.
They'll call him Dr. Mitt. A child special. All right, yo. I can't. The fact that he's a pediatrician, it really pisses me off.
Well, you know what? That's a great segue, Micah. My story. Look, you couldn't have set that one up any better. You set him up, I'll knock him down. World's most disgusting food, urine-soaked eggs, a traditional dish in this country. Take a guess. Pretty easy, I think.
Urine-soaked eggs? China?
Ding, 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 ding.
I have no idea. Oh, well, there you go.
When you got to piss and you got a bunch of eggs, go to China. Traditional dish in Dongyang, Xinjiang, China, aka Pissland. That's just an editorial I made. In which eggs are boiled in urine of young boys who are presumably peasants, preferably under the age of 10, is known as virgin boy eggs. The dish literally translates into boy egg. So if you're in China and someone's like, you want some boy eggs? Nah, I'm good, dog. I don't need peasant piss eggs. Thanks.
Yo, first of all, I don't give a fuck what it's made from or what kind of brine it's sitting in. If someone says you want some boy eggs, I'm not taking it. I'm not eating anything that is described as boy something.
Yeah, I don't me no like. No, yo, I'm not eating that. Like, that's disgusting. It's a springtime tradition.
Are you gonna brine your food in urine?
In my urine or someone else's urine?
Yeah, it's yours. You know what you eat.
I would, but I'm over the age of 10, so I don't want to be, I don't want to be ridiculous. It's a springtime tradition in the city, where I'm sure with that lovely warm weather, the air is just ever so ripe with the smell of peasant piss. Where the urine of prepubescent peasant boys is collected and used to make the dish. Who is the person going around asking young kids to piss in a jar so they can make eggs? Arrest that person, Arrest them. On site. They have been identified as, quote, local intangible cultural heritage by officials in China who consider them part of the region's intangible cultural heritage. No. Piss eggs are not a part of any intangible cultural heritage. Actually, piss is quite tangible. And it's awful, and we should not put it in food. No, don't do this. No, I'm against it. I'm taking the wild stance against piss-soaked eggs. I know, and they should.
Why are you trying to cancel their culture?
Because it's full of piss. Yeah, sorry. Dear China, don't do that. Don't do that. That is awful. That is an awful, awful, awful thing to do. All right, let's drop into trailers this week. The first one up is Everything, Everywhere, All at Once. So this is an A24 film starring Michelle Yeoh, which is clearly also David Lopan is in it. But it's clearly some sort of weird multiverse jumping thing where she's starting to meet different versions of herself. You made a statement to me about A24, which I would like you to discuss here. When you saw this trailer.
What did I say to you? I think I said something like, thank God, Hollywood should be thanking A24 for existing, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, I think so. A24 is, you want to talk about not doing IP movies and trying something that's different. A24 is getting these movies out there. This movie, well, first of all, let me talk about the movie. The movie looks amazing.
Yeah, it does. It looks really good.
This movie looks it looks so good. And I am so pleased to see Michelle Yeoh in this, because I think Michelle Yeoh is one of those actors that she's a legend, right?
She is.
She's a legend when it comes to the acting game. And to see her, never would I have thought that I would see her in something like this.
Right. She normally does traditional action films.
Yeah, action or drama, right?
Yeah, or drama.
And this looks amazing. It looks like a lot of fun. I cannot wait to see it. A24 puts out movies that they make movies like this accessible. They make movies, they take a chance. Hollywood's big thing, the big criticism that people have about movies nowadays is that all the movies look the same. And I was on another podcast and we had a guest, and she was lamenting about, because she's in the film business, and she's like, yeah, I get so tired of seeing who wants to see another fucking Spider-Man movie? Well, I kind of want to see another fucking Spider-Man movie, but I understand what she's saying, right? Yeah. She feels like Hollywood is only doing Hollywood is treating movies like a product, and A24 is treating movies like art.
Yeah, and they're all over the place. They're all over the place.
You can't pin them down. You can't pin them down. Like the only way you can pin an A24 movie down is by saying, "Whoa, this looks different than anything I've ever seen. This must be an A24 film."
Yep. Because they started out when they really kind of started out a couple of years ago, and they hit my radar. They were doing like films that American directors were bringing from overseas. They were like, I'm trying to think. It was like something like the Gang of the Green Dragons or something like that. It was one of the really early ones. And it was like Martin Scorsese brought it over from Korea or from China or something like that, right? And it was like this this gang, like Chinese gang movie or what have you. And they were kind of doing that, and then they started making their own stuff. And instead of just like producing, just or being the money behind stuff. And once they kind of got their own footing, like they just started doing. I've only seen one A24 film that I didn't like, but I've liked to loved almost every single thing I've ever seen them do.
I mean, they've been around since 2013. I'm just going to give you a list of movies, and just keep in mind, like they're all under this one banner, right? Spring Breakers, that movie with James Franco, right? Enemy, the Denis Villeneuve movie.
Yep.
Under the Skin, that Scarlett Johansson movie.
Phenomenal movie.
Obvious Child.
Phenomenal movie.
What else? And I'm just picking movies that I know most people have at least heard of, if not seen. Ex Machina.
Yep. Great.
The Amy Winehouse documentary. Room. You ever heard of Room?
Yeah. Yeah, Captain Marvel was in that. She won a fucking Oscar.
Right. The Lobster. Look, I don't know if people have seen The Lobster. I think The Lobster is hilarious.
Yeah. I remember you talking about that. Yeah.
Morris from America. We did that movie on Black on Black Cinema.
I loved it.
About
a black father and a black son moving to Europe, and like his son's experience with like his first crush, like this German girl. Like that was a great film. It really was.
Yeah. It's a coming of age film starring two black expats.
Yeah. It's not a movie you'd see made normally. You just wouldn't see it made.
I don't know if you've heard of this movie from Barry Jenkins. It's called Moonlight.
Yeah, maybe.
It Comes at Night. I mean, I heard that's not. I know. Terrence did not really care for that. Here's the movie that you did not like: A Ghost Story.
I did not like that movie. I walked out of that movie.
Here's a movie you did like: Good Time.
I love that movie. That's the movie that I fucking told you. I don't know if Robert Pattinson could be Batman, bro. Yes, he fucking can. And now everybody's like, I can't wait for that movie. Yeah, dude, I told you. I know. No shit.
Lady Bird, The Disaster Artist.
Lady Bird, great movie. Disaster Artist, great movie. Yeah.
Hereditary.
I haven't seen that.
They got a lot of movies. Native Son. Oof.
Yeah, that was not good. That was not good at all. Wasn't that in conjunction with HBO or something though? Like that wasn't all them. I feel like they worked with somebody on that.
Yeah, it was produced. It was distributed through HBO Films.
Yeah,
so it wasn't all them. And look, that's just in the 2010s, yo. Yeah. That's just in the 2010s. Look, we would be here all day if I kept going. But
yeah, because they also did what's the cult one that had Florence Pugh in it. What the fuck is it? It just came out.
They did Boy State. Did you ever watch?
I did watch it. Yeah, I watched it. I thought that was Apple TV.
Man. Apple TV. They co-distributed.
Oh, I see. Okay,
that's why I was on Apple TV. Yeah. But yeah, man. Like, and by the way, they're doing Macbeth. The Denzel
no
Washington
shit.
Macbeth.
No shit.
I mean, come on.
And they gonna crush it. They're gonna crush it.
All right.
Look, the second I saw who was gonna be in Macbeth, I was like, oh, they're making a Macbeth movie. I'm gonna see it anyway. Doesn't matter how bad it is. I'm gonna see it because I love it. Oh, is Denzel Washington? Yes. It's what's the name? McDermott.
Frances McDormand.
Frances McDormand. Like, okay. So casting wise, I'm more than okay with that. It's going to be the classic version. I'm definitely okay with that. It's A24. I'm definitely okay. It's in black and white. What are we talking about? How many things do you need to tell me to get me to see this movie? Yeah, man. Like, if A24 is doing it, I'm in. Like, 99% of the time, I'm in. The Green Knight is them. I haven't seen that yet. I know, Daryl, relax. I know you've seen it 47 times. I'm desperately trying to watch it over the holiday. But that's supposed to be phenomenal, too. So it's like, not only is that list of movies that you named, and that's just the tip of the iceberg, they're all very unique films. The Green Knight is nothing like Hereditary. It's nothing like that. I can't remember the name of that cult movie. They're nothing alike. So they're all wildly different.
I'm guessing it's going to be nothing like this movie that we have playing right now. Which, again, I cannot wait for this movie. Everything, Everywhere, All at Once. I mean, as soon as I saw this, I was just like, yo, I need this movie right now.
It just looks fun. It has a very being John Malkovich feel to it, which I like. So yeah, I'm down for this. This looks really quite good. So yeah, we'll see. Again, it's, this idea that A24 or this idea that there are no movies out there, they're all the same. Like, that's not true, man. There are some studios making some really cool shit. So I like it. Like we should actually give these movies a chance. Like, that's something that everyone should be doing.
Minari, Zola.
Yeah. Zola was fucking good. Zola was fucking awesome. All right, let's talk about the next movie here, Micah. You want to key this one up?
The next Oscar-winning movie. Look, this movie, The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent, stars everyone's favorite Academy Award-winning actor, Nicolas Cage. And this is exactly what I am looking for in a Nicolas Cage movie. Nicolas Cage is not dumb. He's weird. He's eccentric. He's a bit of a hoe. Like, he'll take any role.
Yeah, he will.
But he's not stupid. And he gets the joke. He understands how he is perceived. And this movie feels like it's going to be the culmination of all of that.
I feel like he should just retire after this.
This might be his masterpiece.
I watched the first 30 minutes of Pig. No bullshit. That was a good ass movie, dude. I gotta finish it.
I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch it before Oscar nominations come out, so that I can be mad if it's not nominated.
But I was watching, I was like, this is, I had to stop because I had something to do. I was like, this is actually really good. It was, man. It was really good. And that's the
I gotta watch that. I gotta watch Prisoners of Ghostland. I'll have those by the next time we talk.
I heard that movie is pretty ridiculous. I kind of want to see it.
Yeah.
I kind of want to see it.
Like because I feel like that's going to be the exact
it's the type of movie this movie is referencing.
Right. And it will show why this dude is an Academy Award winning actor, because he can do shit like Prisoners of Ghostland and then do shit like Pig. You know what I mean? Like, it shows this guy's weird range. Here's the premise. Nicolas Cage, the actual Nicolas Cage, begrudgingly accepts a $1 million offer to attend the birthday of a billionaire superfan. When things take a wild turn, Nick is forced to become a version of some of his most iconic and beloved characters in order to extricate his wife and daughter from the fan who is a notorious drug lord. Yo, tell me that is not the best fucking premise for a goddamn Nicolas Cage
so
movie.
He's gonna actually play. He's gonna be pretending to be the characters from his movies. Yo, come on,
God, dude, come on, man.
All right, what are the iconic roles he's got to play? Right, he's got to Castor Troy, obviously.
I mean, Castor Troy is number one, right? Like obviously. You have to be Castor Troy, right? You gotta.
Whatever the character's name is from Con Air, I can't remember. It's a ridiculous name.
I can't remember. It's something fucking stupid. Too.
Yeah, it's like a really stupid American name.
Oh God, Vampire's Kiss.
Yeah.
A B C D. The Wicker Man.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Come on. Oh my God. Look. I don't know I can't remember his name.
Oh, I just saw it in the trailer. There's a little bit of Raising Arizona there.
Yeah, man. Come on, dude. Come on, man. Drive Angry. I really like that fucking movie. I really like this.
I'm gonna drink a beer out of your skull. All right, Nick. All right, you gotta relax.
Oh shit.
Yeah, no. Look, this is a genius premise. Like
this really feels like a love letter to Nicolas Cage and his fans. And,
and he's in it. And he's in it, which is awesome.
Let's fucking do it, man. Yeah, let's go.
I like how you sent me this and you were like, don't pretend you're not going to watch this. You're going to watch this. Just shut up and tell me how much you like this trailer. It's like, yeah, no, it's really good, actually. Yeah, look, I like it. I'm down for it. And I do like that, like, he's in on the joke, because it would be one thing if he wasn't in on the joke and it just like it felt like it's like kind of kicking him while he's down type of thing. But no, he's like totally in on it, and everyone likes Nicolas Cage.
Nobody hates Nicolas Cage, right? Like you may not like his movies, but like he's that weird guy that is just like he's that weird artist. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he is. He's just a weird ass artist,
and nobody hates him. Like, and some people just love him. I love the guy. Because he's not afraid to just do different shit. He's not afraid to be in a movie where he is the main character and just doesn't say a word.
No, not at all. I feel like there are two actors that you could probably get to be in your movie. Like if you write a movie and you make it silly enough and fun enough, they would do it almost for nothing. Nicolas Cage, Danny Trejo.
Yeah. I think Danny Trejo is always like the guy who is just the most happy to be in any situation.
Yeah.
And like, I feel like Nicolas Cage, if he found some sort of weird way if he thought that whatever he was looking at, he could like put his spin, his artistic take on it, I feel like he would do it for free.
I feel like that's true. Like, if you are a young budding artist, right, like film director, in like a comedy, right, like let's say it's comedy or like action comedy or something like that, make a buddy cop movie with Danny Trejo and Nicolas Cage. I bet you could get it made. Dude. I bet you could. Do you know that Nicolas Cage's whole thing is that he will take almost any role that small movie companies will bring posters photoshopped with him on them for their movies to try to promote it to him. They're like, you as the action star in this? And he's like, all right, I'll do it. That's why he does like all these like off the wall type of things, because he'll go to like Cannes Film Festival and shit like that, and he'll see these posters and he's like, all right, yeah, I can do that. I'll do, whatever, of Ghostland or whatever. Like, I'll do that dumbass movie because someone made a poster and photoshopped his stupid head on it, which is hilarious to me. But I respect it. I respect the hustle. So, yeah, that's fine. I will 100% watch what was the name of that movie? The
Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. No, even the fucking title of the movie gets it. You know what I mean?
It does.
Like, come on, man.
Yeah, it does. So, yeah, I'm down for it, man. I really am. I'm looking forward to that movie. I think it's going to be fun. Look, this is our last episode of the year. So no episode for the rest of the month, and we will see you guys in January. Again, on this coming Tuesday on the 21st, my review of The Matrix Resurrections will be up. It will not be a spoiler review. I think what I'll do is maybe you and I will do a spoiler conversation when we get back, because you'll have watched it by then. It'll be out. And everybody will have seen it because it comes out like the 24th or something like that.
22nd.
Oh, 22nd. Okay. So everybody will have a chance to see it and overanalyze it to death. And then when we come back in the new year, we can talk about it. But that's it for us for the year. This is the last week for all of our shows for the year, except for Black on Black Cinema. We'll have an episode that'll come out next week. That's the last one for all of our shows. And I don't know if Dense Pixels, are you guys done for the year, or are you doing the show next week?
I don't know.
Okay.
It depends on what the news looks like. If the news is if there's nothing to talk about, then yeah, that's it.
Yeah, we're going to be way too close, because isn't like Thursday Christmas or some shit like that? I don't even know.
Fucking atheists. Fucking
no,
atheists.
The 23rd. It's the day before Christmas Eve. I mean, I guess technically we could do a show next week. I just don't feel like it.
No, we can't. I got in-laws coming in, and we can't.
Yeah, see, it's Micah's fault. Not mine for being lazy. So, all right, that's it for us. We will see you guys in the new year. Have a great holiday, Christmas, Kwanzaa, Hanukkah, or just doing nothing. Just have a good time, and we will see you guys after the 1st.
See ya.